Hi everybody, Ben here from Claire.io. I want to show you the new feature that we've released publicly this week. It's VRay Rendering. So let's create a new scene. So I'm just going to take an MTL, OBJ, and a JPEG file here. I'm going to drag them into the new scene dialog. This is automatically going to import them and create a new scene. You'll see the progress of your import down here with our new status bar. So uploading, now it's importing. There we go. Okay, so we've designed Claire.io to be similar to Softimage in terms of its rendering. We have both in viewport real-time previewing, but we also have a multi-pass, multi-renderer system. So right now, you'll see that there's no renderer set up and there's no passes set up. We've made it very easy to automatically set those up. So just come to the viewport and just go live render and then pick fast preview. What it's going to do is it's going to detect that there's no lights, there's no cameras, there's no render, and there's no pass, and it's automatically going to create them for you. So you click OK, and you'll see that it's created 3 lights here. It's created a camera, it's created a render, and it's created a render pass. It's also set these up properly to use the right camera and to use the right render, and we've set up our current pass to be the default pass. So once you've done that, just run that command again, fast preview, and it'll start up VRay on the cloud, and it'll stream the results back into your browser. And what's cool is, like, if we go to the same camera on this side, let's go here, I can start interacting with that scene, and you have sub-second response times to your render streaming it. So let's clean up this scene ever so slightly to make it look better. There, we've given it a base plane there. And let's change the base plane to be something a bit more attractive. Let's go with like some slightly white color. Actually, we have a lot of built-in VRay materials. We could actually change that to a metal. We could change that to, say, aluminum matte. And when we change that to aluminum, you'll now see that it has a nice sort of bumpy texture, and it's doing very complex light interactions. If we don't like our realistic looking ant, we could make him gold, let's say. So let's go down to our metal textures, and let's find gold. There we go. Now we have a gold ant. One thing you'll notice is the ant is a bit polygony. We've got flat faces on there. One thing we can do, just like in Softimage, we can hit the plus key. And what that's going to do is that's going to subdivide the mesh. And now you'll see that as it's rendering here in the viewport, it's nice and smooth. We've got one small viewport, but we can maximize that viewport. And then we detect that, and then we restart the render on the server at the full size. And there we go. We've got a pretty good view of our gold ant on an aluminum surface. If we want to change the aluminum surface UVs, that's pretty easy. We just come here, we come to UV map, and we can start adjusting this. And right away, it's actually changed with because before it was 0 to 1 on the size of the polygon, and now it's using a world space mapping here. I'm using the VRay RT to get these very fast response times. But if you want to do your production render, just come to come to your menu here and pick standard. We've exposed nearly every VRay option that there is. So this handles photon mapping for caustics. It handles GI. It handles ambient occlusion. We do support proper environment maps for spherical mapping or cylindrical mapping if you want to do HDR environments. We also support a large complement of VRay materials. The standard VRay material. We also support a lot of BRDFs, including car paint and subsurface scattering. We also have a large library of presets, and in the next week we'll be releasing a material browser, so you can see over 150 different material presets that you can use immediately within your scene. Now, it does take a lot longer when we're in production rendering than it does in the RT previewing, especially since I've set up some fairly complex materials here that are resulting in a lot of bounces. One nice thing about Claire.io is that I don't actually have to wait for this to finish. I can go to another scene. So here's a scene that has a nice robot setup. So let's pick the turntable camera, and let's set that up, and let's render this. Again, using VRay RT. We have dozens of machines in the cloud. So every time you start a render, it's going to use a different machine. And that means that I can have one render going on one machine in one web browser window, and I can have another one going on at full speed and another one. This means that you can stay productive. There's no longer a need to go for a coffee break during your renders. So I believe this material here, we're using car paint. So if we want to adjust that, we can change the reflections on our car paint and make that much more reflective. There we go. So we can change the coat, and so now we've got a stronger coat. Or we can adjust the base color to make it sort of more blue. While I'm leaving that render, I can come to another scene. In this, I've got the GLaDOS character from Portal. And again, just go to Fast Preview. It starts up. And I can interact with this. Again, everything runs incredibly, incredibly fast. While the first render is still going on, our second one is still going on, and our third. So that's how Clair.io works with VRay in this latest release. We'd love your thoughts and feedback on how to make this even better.